The young guy just stared at the cop, his eyes empty, like there was no soul behind them. The detective, clearly frustrated, didn't hold back. He accused him outright.
There was nobody in your house last night but you and your mom. We know that.
It was the perfect bait. The detective knew exactly what he was doing. In psychology, the defensive attribution theory explains that when people are accused of something, they often try to justify their actions to protect how they see themselves. And that's exactly what this young guy did. He quickly tried to defend himself. But in doing so, he ended up giving away more than he realized, leading to his own incrimination.
After you point the right pointer ahead. Pull the trigger. Sure. Pull the trigger.
But who is this guy? And what exactly happened on September 8th, 2017?
New information tonight on a mid-Michigan murder investigation. A teenager is accused of killing his 51-year-old mother inside her Wheatville Township home.
Before we dive into the details, welcome back to my channel. I may not have many followers, but your single comment gives me a glimmer of hope. On the night of September 8th, 2017, the peaceful calm of Williamston, Michigan, was shattered by the sound of a gunshot. Moments later, 19-year-old Andrew David Wilson called 911.
911, what's your emergency?
Claiming that someone had killed his 51-year-old mother, Lisa Marie Wilson, while he was away. However, the police, sensing something wasn't quite right, arrested Andrew and brought him in for questioning. Today, we'll be diving into the psychological aspects of his interrogation.
We're going to talk about last night, obviously, and any time before that that you think is necessary for me to know.
From the start, detectives use rapport building, a psychological technique designed to make the suspect feel more comfortable and willing to cooperate. In Andrew's case, the detectives start with friendly, non-confrontational questions, making Andrew feel as though they are on the same side. This creates a false sense of security, allowing them to gather information while subtly analyzing his responses for inconsistencies.
I do ask that you're honest with me. Okay, I've been doing this a long time. I talk to a lot of people. Not everybody's honest. I can usually tell when people aren't being honest with me. I don't get offended when people lie to me, but I usually let them know, you're not being honest with me. Okay.
The detectives introduce cognitive dissonance by repeatedly telling Andrew that they expect him to be honest. This creates internal conflict in Andrew, as he is torn between his desire to protect himself and the pressure to align with the detective's expectations.
I'm not going to lie to you, so I don't expect you to lie to me. So with that said, we're going to discuss last night, or any time before that. Did you want to start from the beginning and tell me about last night, or do you want me to ask you questions? Or?
Detectives employ minimization, subtly downplaying the severity of the crime. They suggest that telling the truth will help Andrew, making it seem like confessing is a way for him to regain control of the situation. This reduces Andrew's stress and lowers his guard.
I'm gonna say, like, what I was doing. I probably got home from work right around midnight, a little bit before that, and she was about to go to bed. And then I just played PlayStation with my friends till about 2, and then I couldn't fall asleep, so right around 3:30, roughly, I took a drive. That's usually what I do when I can't fall asleep. And I decided to go to the gym because I still couldn't fall asleep at like 4. But then by the time I got there, I didn't have my Planet Fitness token thing, so I just went home.
Okay.
Silence is used strategically to put pressure on Andrew. After he answers questions, the detectives remain silent, forcing Andrew to feel uncomfortable and fill the void with more details.
When you went home?
And slept on the couch because he's got a puppy, so she always just wanted to go upstairs. So I just watched TV for one episode and then went to bed.
Yeah, where'd you go to bed at?
Just on the couch in the family room.
Okay. And then what happened after that?
And I woke up, or her alarm woke me up because it's going off nonstop. Like right before I called 911. Because, I don't know, 6:45.
And what happened after that?
Well, after I went up there to see why she wasn't turning off her alarm, and I saw her, so then I called 911 and waited outside.
Okay. And then what happened after that?
The dispatcher told me to just kind of wait near the driveway for the officers to show up. And then once they did, I just did whatever they said. Which they just got my name and hers.
You just go back in the house?
No.
No.
No, they told me to just wait outside.
Okay. All right. Let's go back. Anything else after that?
I just waited inside one of the squad cars once everyone else started showing up.
Okay. All right. So you worked till about midnight?
That's about when I got home, yeah, because I got a call after 11.
What do you mean you got a call after 11?
So the shift is 3:11, but then you're on call until 7 a.m., usually from your house. So like right at 11, we got 3 illegal parks. So I went and did one of those.
Okay. Right about 11?
Yeah.
From your house or from?
From the station.
The station.
Yeah.
Where'd you pick that car up at? And what do you do with the cars?
So for Lee was agreeing to one of our storage lots.
Okay. And where's the storage lot at?
The one I took to was right across the street from the station.
Where's that?
Corner of Paz and Hagedorn.
I'm sorry. What was the intersection?
Hazlitt and Hagedorn Road.
Hazlitt.
Yep.
Okay, and then after that, what'd you do?
I just went home.
Went home. Okay. And what time did you get home?
Probably quarter till midnight, maybe midnight. Somewhere around there.
Okay, and then you said that from that time, where were you at in the house?
I was in the family room.
In the family room.
Mm-hmm.
Did you go upstairs at all?
Right when I got home to get a phone charger.
To get a phone charger. Where'd you get that from?
My room.
Okay. Did you talk to your mom at that time?
Yeah, well, she just asked how work was, like she usually does.
Okay. And where was she at?
First she was in the family room, and then when I was grabbing the phone charger, she was in the room watching TV.
And what was your conversation like?
Just asked about work and what time it was, because I was going to bring the puppy to my dad's because my stepmom runs the Cavalier Humane Society, so they already had an adoptive family ready for her, because my mom didn't really want to have another puppy.
Okay, so when were you going to do that?
Take my dad to be to his house by around 7:30.
And which puppy was it?
Sharpay.
Okay, so last time you talked to your mom, she was in her bedroom?
Mm-hmm.
And she was, what was she doing?
Just watching TV.
Where was she at in the room?
On the bed.
On the bed. And where's the TV at?
It's at the foot of the bed to the right, kind of at an angle.
Okay.
Where if she laid on the left side of the bed, she could watch it.
Alright. Do you know what time that was?
12:15.
12:15. Do you know what she was watching on TV?
I don't remember. I didn't really pay attention to what she was watching.
Okay. And then what did you do after that?
Went downstairs and played PlayStation with my friends.
And who were you playing with?
Larry and Nick.
Do you know who they are?
Yeah, I went to high school with them.
Okay. And what's their last name?
Larry Gregorica.
Okay.
And then Nick Benninger.
Did they graduate with you?
Yep.
And what time do you guys play till?
Nick and I played till, I don't know, 2, roughly. We got off at like 1:30.
And what were you playing?
Destiny 2.
Okay. What did you do after 2?
Watched a little TV trying to fall asleep, and then for about an hour, and then I couldn't, so I just took a drive.
Detectives apply psychological pressure by forcing Andrew to recall detailed actions and inconsistencies. By breaking down his story into smaller pieces, they make it harder for him to maintain a consistent narrative.
Yeah, that's simple. I think it might be different for him, but very similar.
All right. I gotta talk to this guy real quick. Just sit tight. All right. Do you need more water or anything?
Almost it.
All right. Just relax. Back when, just backing up a little bit, how did your dad know to show up at your mom's house this morning? Why did he show up?
I told him that I wouldn't make it to drop off the dog.
When did you tell him that?
Like 7, I think it was actually 7:35 that I sent him a text.
7:30 this morning?
Yeah, while I was still in the driveway. And then, I guess, I don't know, he was calling right as I was handing over my phone.
Oh, okay. All right. So, what'd you tell him in your text?
I just said that I'm not going to make it. I'll talk to you about it later. I guess he just showed up.
Okay. Were the police were already there?
Mm-hmm.
Did you tell him about your mom?
Oh, I didn't talk to him.
Okay.
I didn't know he was there until he was leaving.
What about when you texted him in the morning?
No, not yet. I don't know if I wasn't supposed to tell anybody yet while I was still being investigated, so I didn't.
Okay. Did you tell any of the deputies that your dad might know what was going on?
Mm-hmm. No, I couldn't figure out. I didn't think he was going to show up, but...
Okay. Yeah, he's, one of the other detectives is talking to him right now, so, so we gotta figure something out here, okay?
Mm-hmm.
After you leave, and you go driving around, and you come back, the back door that you locked, was it locked when you came home?
No, it wasn't quite shut all the way because it was kind of hard to shut, but
What wasn't shut? Which door?
the back door.
Is it, like a storm door, or is it
No,
a screen door?
The one at the deck.
Is it just one door?
It has a screen door and then an actual door.
Okay, and which one wasn't closed all the way?
The actual wood door, which I figured, so most of the time whenever I leave in the middle of the night to go on a call, my mom, like, if she ends up coming downstairs to let the dog out, she'll just leave the door unlocked. I figured that's what it was.
Okay, so you figured that your mom,
Saw that I was gone, so she probably figured that she thought that I was on a call for work.
okay. All right. From what we see right now, we don't think this is a suicide.
Okay.
Okay. There's no indication that there's a suicide. You don't think it's a suicide. And your dad doesn't think it's a suicide. So that leaves us with homicide.
As the questioning progresses, detectives begin to create cognitive dissonance. They tell Andrew they believe his mother's death isn't a suicide, which contradicts his original story. This psychological tension forces Andrew to reevaluate his responses. Cognitive dissonance theory suggests that when people are confronted with conflicting beliefs, they often modify their behavior to resolve the inconsistency, making them more likely to admit to something they might have otherwise denied.
Right? She didn't die of natural causes. You saw that, right?
Yeah.
And you know what natural causes are, like heart attacks and things like that. Okay? So we gotta get real here. Okay? And earlier you said you're gonna be honest with me. Now I'm gonna ask you, did you have anything to do with your mom's death?
No.
Did you cause anything that created your mom's death?
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
I don't know what I would have done.
Okay. What do you think happened?
Maybe someone broke in, trying to rob us or something.
The detectives used direct accusation, subtly accusing Andrew of being involved in his mother's death. This tactic is designed to provoke a defensive response, pushing Andrew to justify his actions.
And who would do that?
I assume it's a stranger.
You assume it's a stranger?
Yeah, I don't know anybody that I know that would try and steal.
Okay. And so, do you know who was in your house?
Mm.
Do you know who caused the death of your mom?
No.
Do you have any idea who did?
Not anybody that I hang out with. I couldn't think of any of them doing that.
Detectives begin to apply silence in the interrogation, forcing Andrew into an uncomfortable position. This strategy is rooted in interpersonal deception theory, where silence increases his psychological pressure, leading the suspect to feel the need to fill the void. In Andrew's case, the uncomfortable silence encourages him to provide more information, often leading to slips or contradictions.
So what do you think about, what were you thinking about when you found your mom?
I was just shocked.
How long after you found her did you call 911?
A minute or two. I could sit around, like sitting there.
When you called 911, where were you?
I was right at the back door, like kind of half in and out. I was kind of went back and forth, and while I was on the phone, just pacing back and forth.
Okay. Did you walk around the house at all, the inside?
After I called them, no.
Were you afraid that there was anybody inside the house? Not at all?
Not really.
Did you see anybody at the house or near the house when you got home? Did anything seem out of place when you got home?
No, I was only in the sun porch, which is where the dog kennel is, and then I went in the family room. Those are the only, well, I guess in the bathroom.
What were you doing in the bathroom?
Just went to the bathroom.
Okay, and when was that?
It would have been after I got home, so 4:30. Right when I got home to the bathroom.
Okay, so that was before you found your mom?
Yeah.
All right.
Next, detectives push Andrew with leading questions that guide him toward a particular answer. This is a technique used to induce a false memory or guide the suspect into agreeing with a narrative. For example, when Andrew says he didn't see any gun or sharp objects, the detectives subtly reinforce the idea that he should have noticed these items, making him more likely to provide new details that align with their theory.
So after you called 911, you went downstairs?
I was already downstairs.
When you called 911?
Yeah, so I went
So you went
downstairs
down there?
before I called, yeah.
Okay. And what did you tell 911?
because I thought she was murdered because I didn't see a gun or anything. I didn't think she committed suicide.
Okay.
So,
Well, let's talk about that, about not seeing a gun or anything. Did you look for a gun?
I didn't like look on the other side of the bed. I didn't see one on the ground in her room or anything.
Okay. Did you expect to find one?
No, not really.
Okay. You told me earlier you were only in there for a few seconds.
So I walked in there, saw that it didn't look right. So then I pulled out my phone and turned on the flashlight, and then saw her. And I left.
So it was kind of dark in there?
As the interrogation continues, detectives heighten psychological pressure by challenging Andrew's actions after finding his mother's body. The goal is to make him second-guess his own story and force him into a corner. Cognitive load theory comes into play here. Andrew is faced with so many conflicting details that it becomes harder for him to maintain his initial story, and he risks slipping up as his mental resources are taxed.
You said you thought you saw blood on the pillow?
Yeah, because it looked like half of it was darker than the white. So
Okay.
I turned on the light to see.
Was her head covered?
By the sheet, I don't think so.
No.
I think it's kind of just up to her shoulder.
Like up to her shoulder?
Like, she was sleeping.
Okay. Did you shake her at all?
Mm-hmm.
Did you scream her name at all?
Yeah, I yelled her name, yeah. I wouldn't say scream, but
Okay. And you said you were only there for a few seconds, but you looked for a weapon? You looked for a
when I
gun?
get down underneath the bed, I just took a quick glance. Didn't see anything.
Okay. And then did you run out of the room? Or you just walk out?
Half and run, but I was definitely faster than walking.
All right, then you called 911. Did 911 ask you if you see anybody at the house?
She might have a little bit later on. She asked too if I was the only one who lived there with her. And if everyone else was at the house overnight. I think she asked that.
Okay. All right. Take a couple minutes, and I want you to think real hard about last night. Okay? And I'll be right back. Anything?
What's up?
All right. Oh, this could take a while, so just let you know. If you need a break, just let me know. If you get hungry, let me know, that kind of thing. All right. Sorry about all the interruptions, but there's a lot going on right now, obviously, and there's people out at the house that are, evidence people taking evidence, and your dad and your brother being interviewed. So I keep getting called out to find out what's going on and get updated and stuff like that. And I have to give updates too, that kind of thing. So it's kind of fluid. So, not ignoring you or anything like that, all right? When I get up to go out and stuff like that. But
The detectives use leading questions to manipulate Andrew into providing specific answers that support their theory of the crime. By guiding his responses, they push him toward agreeing with their version of events, creating a false memory in his mind.
if you could we go over the route that you took when you went for your drive?
Yeah. I don't know all the exact roads I took, but I know I took a Meridian.
Okay, well, so when you left your house, you drove to Meridian?
Yep, left out of the drive to Meridian.
Okay,
Left on Meridian.
okay.
And then went down to Wilmington or Holt. And to the left. And then down to another side street. I didn't see a street sign. I just saw that there was a road, so I took it.
Was it, how far down the road was it?
A couple miles.
A couple miles. And did you turn right or left?
Turned right.
Turn right, so you were going.
Towards Dansville.
Was it a paved road?
It was paved, yeah.
Okay, and then from there?
From there, went to another side street to take a left, and I took that down to M52.
What street was that?
The other side street. I can't think of it off the top of my head.
Was it a major street or
It was
a side street?
It was a country road. It wasn't like a major one. So it wasn't super wide. Took that M52. Took a right on M52. Down a little ways, probably maybe a mile or so.
Okay.
Took a left.
On what?
I wasn't really paying close attention. But it was a couple streets, so M52, I just took a square back down to M52, and then down to Green River in Williamston.
Okay.
All the way down.
Thank you, I'm just thinking about that. I don't know if I can read this or not. Here's Lynn Road, right here.
It's a
That's
Meridian.
Meridian.
Down to it would have been Meridian to, I believe it's Holt, left on road.
Okay.
And then when
That's Holt Road right there.
this one, okay. And then when either comes back to Williamston, if you take a right on Williamston Road towards Dansville, or you can take a left,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know, I think it might be Bray. Take a left on Bray
From where?
from Holt. So,
Oh, Holt Road's right here. So, how would you take
it might not have been. To Williamston Road, you can either take the main or before. It would have been off of Zimmer. Williamston Road.
Yeah, from your house, this would be Williamston right here.
Detectives push Andrew to recall minute details of his drive and actions, which forces him to recount his movements under scrutiny, making it harder for him to maintain a consistent story. This tactic places psychological pressure on Andrew by testing the validity of his statements through small details.
No. And how do you lock the door?
Either with the key or manually.
So is it like a deadbolt? Or
No,
is it
just
in the
on
handle?
on the handle.
On the handle?
Lock, yeah.
Was your mom's bedroom door, was it open or closed when you went up and the alarm was going off?
It was open.
The door was open, is that normal?
It depends. Usually she'll sleep at the shop, but I've seen her sleep at the open.
And why'd you take your phone in your mom's room?
It was just in my pocket after I got up.
And what were you wearing?
Basketball shorts.
Where are they at?
I'm wearing them.
Oh, you wearing them?
Yeah, I didn't
Oh.
have time to change.
Alright. And what time did you take a shower?
I didn't. I wasn't planning on taking a shower till after I dropped off the dog.
Oh, okay. So you didn't take a shower before you went to work?
Oh, before I went to work, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought you meant this morning.
Okay. So you took a shower, but you didn't take one after you got home?
No.
Did you take one after you found your mom?
No.
No. Just put it after you got home. From work, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you hunt?
Sometimes.
Okay. Do you target shoot?
Not really.
When's the last time you fired a gun?
Last fall.
Last fall. And what was that?
20 gauge for deer season.
Did you handle a firearm last night?
No.
Did you shoot a firearm last night?
No.
Alright, so what happened to your mom last night? What happened?
While I was gone, she got shot.
And how do you know she got shot?
I just assumed there was, since there's all the blood on her head.
I've been doing this a long time, you know that, right?
Mm-hmm.
25 years. I'm a homicide detective. Okay, I talk to people all the time, for years, about other people dying. Okay? We look at a lot of things when we're doing our investigation. Okay? What other people say, what we find at the crime scene, what's said on a 911 call, and there's all kinds of stuff that we look at. Alright? And I know that you did not have the best relationship with your mom as you got the puppy. I know that. Am I right?
I mean, we weren't yelling at each other.
Right, no, I know, but still, it was better times. Am I correct?
Like the past week, she's been fine. Just right at first, she didn't like the puppy.
Sure.
I was fine with that.
The detective subtly manipulates Andrew's emotions by discussing the tension over the puppy, suggesting it might have been a cause of conflict between him and his mother. By framing the situation as emotionally charged, the detective aims to provoke an emotional response that could break Andrew's composure.
But it's closer and closer to the time where the puppies, you gotta get rid of the puppy. And your mom probably was okay with that, right? And that's probably why she was better this last week, because she knew that at some point the puppy was going to be gone. You know, I'm a dog guy. I know you're a dog guy. I can tell just by talking to you. You know, we love our animals. You know, we love, okay? And you had the dog a couple weeks, you know, and you didn't get the dog, just turn around and get the dog away. Am I right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And unfortunately, everybody's got parents. Unfortunately, they have rules. Unfortunately, when we live with our parents, we live by their rules of what they say inside the house. I did it with mine. My son does it with me. You do it with your mom. You're a man. You're an adult, right? I mean, there's some things that you do that tell me that. Okay, you don't go to school anymore. You work a full-time job. You make your own money. You make your own choices in life. Get your own car, right? All right. You got your own cell phone. You know, do you pay a lot of bills?
Since I'm making classes, I pay just insurance and cell phone.
There you go. But you're doing it. You're doing it, right? Okay, you're entitled to things. The dog is one of them. You know, I would think that. My son does that. Hey, you know, I'm a man. I'm 20-some years old. I go to school. I got a job. You know what I'm saying? I didn't. When he got a dog, I didn't tell him, hey, you can't have a dog. I said, it's your decision. But the dog's not going to live here. He said, I'm fine with that. I'm going back to college. I take the dog with me. I'm fine with that too. I love the dog. The dog's a great little dog.
The detective downplays the situation to make it seem less serious, hoping to get Andrew to open up. By minimizing the crime and presenting it as something understandable or excusable, they attempt to make Andrew feel comfortable about confessing.
I understand that a lot of stuff is done by emotions. People do things because they're emotionally attached to things, because they love things, because they love people, and they do things, okay? Things that they would never, ever do, ever in their life, period, okay? Are you following me? All right. From the information that I'm getting, you and your mom, the last couple of days, I've seen text messages from her to your dad about the puppy, okay? About it coming and going and when it's going to get there and stuff, and that there's been some tension between you guys over this. Am I right?
Yeah.
It's okay to say I'm right, okay? You know, if I'm wrong, tell me I'm wrong. You know, you can do that, either one.
The detective indirectly implies that they have evidence or information that contradicts Andrew's version of events. This tactic is used to make the suspect feel as though they have already been caught, increasing the likelihood of a confession.
But what I'm getting at is there was nobody in your house last night but you and your mom. We know that, okay? I've got ears over there right now, people telling me what's going on. And I know from what your brother has said and what your dad has said, the only two people in that house last night were you and your mom. Your mom's no longer with us, okay? And I'm going to be able to tell from the evidence and from what you've told me about your drive, if you were there or not.
At various points, the detective directly suggests that Andrew is not telling the whole truth and begins implying guilt by stating things like, "We know that there was nobody in your house last night, but you and your mom." This direct accusation tactic confronts the suspect with the reality of their situation, aiming to provoke a defensive or guilty reaction.
If you were anywhere in there, okay? And there's reasons, and I'm sure you watch cop shows, you know that we do things that are going to verify stuff, okay? A lot of stuff is stuff that I don't even have a part in because I'm not techie, you know what I'm saying? All right? You got to be upfront with me, you got to be straight with me, and don't lie to me, okay? I'm being honest. I want you to be honest, okay? You have to tell me what happened last night with your mom. It's tough. It's hard. It's not going to be easy, okay? But don't think that I'm not going to listen. Don't think that I'm not going to be compassionate, okay? Because I understand these things. I've been doing this a long time, okay? I have never judged anybody, and I won't start today. All right?
Detectives apply emotional manipulation, stressing that confessing will relieve Andrew's emotional burden. They frame his actions in a way that could minimize his psychological guilt, making it easier for him to admit the truth.
You didn't leave your house last night when you said, did you?
Probably a little later.
Probably a little later. Okay. You and your mom, you had some words last night, didn't you?
What do you mean, had some words?
About the puppy. You told me she talked to you about the puppy a little bit,
Mhm.
discussed the puppy. What did that lead to? Anything?
Mhm. I was fine giving away the puppies, and she said,
Okay, no, I agree with it. I agree with that. Okay, and but everything that you're telling me has not been 100% true, and I know that. You know that. Okay, I think we're right about 95%. I think a lot of what you told me, I can say, okay, I can verify that and it's true.
Detectives highlight contradictions in Andrew's story, applying the principle of inconsistency. This principle creates cognitive conflict when actions and words don't align, forcing Andrew to either change his story or become defensive.
But there's a small piece there that we're missing, okay? And you know what that piece is. And I can't put words in your mouth, okay? And I'm not going to. But I need you to tell me about last night. Can you do that for me?
I guess.
No.
Detectives apply psychological pressure through silence, allowing Andrew time to reflect on his actions. They wait patiently, encouraging him to gather the courage to admit what he's done. Interpersonal deception theory explains that silence is used to create discomfort in the suspect, who often fills the silence with confessions or additional details. The detective uses this tactic to make Andrew feel the weight of his actions.
That's right, Andrew. Now going to work was true, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So, coming home from work, you got home around midnight?
Mhm.
Okay. Start from there.
She went, we talked a little bit, like about work, and she went to bed.
Okay.
And I played PlayStation for a couple hours.
And then what happened? We're right there, Andrew, we're right there, and you only have to say it once.
I think I can.
You can say it. I know you can.
As the interrogation continues, Andrew begins to realize that his lies won't hold up anymore. The detective uses emotional manipulation, encouraging Andrew to confess by suggesting that doing so is a path to redemption. The tactic plays on cognitive dissonance. Andrew's internal conflict grows as he tries to align his actions with the moral image of himself he once had. The detective encourages him to say it right in an attempt to relieve Andrew's tension.
I know you didn't believe this. I know you didn't. Just be straight up with me. Was she still awake?
Hmm?
Wow. Was that yes?
What?
Was she still awake? Was she asleep?
She's sleeping. All right.
Okay. And then what? Because I can't put words in your mouth, okay? But you have to say this. You need to say this.
As Andrew starts to break down, the detective intensifies the direct accusation technique. By saying, "I can't say it for you," the detective forces Andrew to take ownership of his actions. Defensive attribution theory comes into play here, where suspects defend themselves when directly accused. The detective's use of direct confrontation is designed to elicit a defensive or emotional reaction, leading Andrew to confess or provide crucial details.
It's going to crush her. You don't. You're a good person. Don't let this ruin that. What happened? right there, right? I can guarantee you this, okay? I've heard worse. I have. And I was in your house today, this morning, okay? I just need to know from you why I was there today.
By suggesting that homicide is the only plausible explanation, the detectives create a sense of urgency in Andrew's mind. The dual process theory is in effect here, where Andrew's logical, controlled thinking is overridden by emotional responses. The pressure forces Andrew to make quick decisions, which could lead to mistakes or contradictory statements. The detectives aim to provoke an emotional response, hoping it'll lead to a confession.
So you got home from work. What did you write after you got home from work?
Changed.
Okay, you changed your clothes. And what did you put on?
Street clothes.
Is it what you have on right now?
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay, pretty much. What did you have on that you don't have on now?
Well, I didn't have a t-shirt on when I was on PlayStation.
Okay. All right. So, what happened after that?
Played for a couple hours.
Okay. What happened after that?
The detective applies the principle of consistency, continuously pressing Andrew to maintain a coherent story. By revisiting details of Andrew's actions, like the clothes he wore and how he spent his time, the detective is subtly creating a situation where Andrew feels the need to tell the truth, lest his inconsistent answers betray him. The detective knows that maintaining consistency in his story will make it harder for Andrew to deny the truth.
If I ask you some questions, will you answer them truthfully? Yeah. Okay. You told me that there's is it a gun safe or a gun cabinet?
Cabinet.
Okay. What does it look like?
Wooden glass door.
Okay. And that's in the spare bedroom downstairs,
Yeah.
adjacent to the living room?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Were you in that room at all last night? No. Did you take a gun out of that room? You told me you'd answer my questions. I'm trying to make this easy for you. I'm probably asking questions I shouldn't, just because I want you to tell me the story. I don't want to assume anything.
At this point, the detective employs the foot-in-the-door technique, breaking down the confession into smaller, manageable pieces. By asking Andrew about simple details first, like the clothes he wore and his activities before the crime, the detective gradually leads him toward confessing the more significant actions. This is based on behavioral consistency theory, where people who admit to small truths are more likely to continue admitting larger truths.
You have to say it. What happens? You're doing fine. Take a second. Take a breath. All right, Andrew. We're this far. You've come a long way. What happens, Andrew? I know it's hard. I know it's really hard. But I can't put words in your mouth.
The detective introduces emotional manipulation, encouraging Andrew to say what happened by downplaying the severity of his actions. The detective tells Andrew that it's okay to confess, reassuring him that he can still be a good person despite the crime. This tactic aligns with the minimization technique, where the investigator downplays the seriousness of the crime to make the suspect feel like revealing the truth will lead to a lesser consequence.
You're in the bedroom with the gun. What happens next? Okay. Was the gun loaded?
Yeah. Yes.
And how do you know it was loaded?
Checked.
You checked? Do you keep guns loaded in the house?
No.
Did you have to put a bullet in it?
Yes.
And where did you do that?
Stairs.
Downstairs. Okay. When you were in the room with your mom, how were you holding the gun?
To my side.
Okay. The whole time? No. At some point, did you reposition the gun?
No.
Is that yes?
Yes.
How did you do that?
Because I'm carrying it vertically to horizontally.
Carrying it vertically, then horizontally?
Yes.
Right. How? Can you show me?
As Andrew describes the events leading up to the crime, the detective continues to apply psychological pressure by asking about the gun, how it was loaded, and where it was kept. This is part of the foot-in-the-door technique, where the detective gradually gets Andrew to reveal more and more about the crime. By focusing on small, specific details, the detective is leading Andrew toward the bigger confession.
So just hold it with one hand, held it to the side.
Okay. And where were you standing when you were holding it like that?
How back to up?
I can't hear you. Can you sit up? Wow, I know it's tough. I know it is. I just can't hear you. Where were you standing?
Right next to the bed.
Okay. And where was your mom?
In the bed.
Okay, so you're facing her back? So she's laying on her side now?
Yes.
Okay. And what happens next?
I aim it.
What's that?
I aim it.
Okay. And when you say that, what do you have to move the gun to aim it? How?
More towards her head.
Okay. Do you pick the gun up and look down sights or anything?
Oh,
You just move the barrel?
yeah.
Okay. And then what?
The detective uses the foot-in-the-door technique, where they first get Andrew to admit to small facts, gradually leading him toward a larger confession. The more Andrew agrees to minor truths, the harder it becomes for him to hold back the larger truth.
You're doing good. I know it's hard. The hard part's over. What happens? What happens, Andrew? You only have to say it the one time. Does she wake up? And she's not facing you?
Finally, the detectives press Andrew about the circumstances around his mother's death, making him feel cornered with the absence of a clear motive. They ask pointed questions, using psychological manipulation to get Andrew to reveal details that could implicate him. The goal is to create enough mental stress that Andrew either confesses outright or provides key details that expose his guilt, leading them closer to the truth.
what happens after you point the rifle at her head? What's next?
Pull the trigger.
I'm sorry.
Pull the trigger.
You pull the trigger? Is that what happens?
And I left.
Okay. So you pull the trigger, and how does that gun operate?
Goes off.
Oh. Is it semi-automatic? Does the shell eject out of it?
Get the. Use the bolt action.
Yeah, that's the bolt action. Do you do that?
The detective presses Andrew by asking if he had ever thought about killing his mother before. This line of questioning uses the principle of inconsistency, highlighting the disparity between Andrew's past behavior and the crime he committed. By forcing Andrew to acknowledge that he never had violent thoughts before, the detective increases the psychological pressure, making Andrew's actions seem more spontaneous and less premeditated.
Okay, and all right, let me go grab that map real quick. All right? Okay. How you doing? You doing okay? I know, this is gonna take a long time. And it's taking a long time, right? I'm just kind of curious. After you left and you came back, or maybe even before, was there any? Did you have any idea of what you were going to do with your mom?
What do you mean?
I mean, were you going to do anything with her? Were you going to take her out of the house, or
No.
nothing like that? No. Did you think about it at all? No. Okay.
The detective uses the principle of cognitive load to break Andrew's defenses by asking questions that force him to recall specific details under high emotional pressure. Andrew's hesitation to answer is expected. The detective is creating a situation where Andrew's emotional state overwhelms his ability to think clearly, making it easier for the detective to get the truth.
New information tonight on a Mid-Michigan murder investigation. A teenager is accused of killing his 51-year-old mother inside her Wheatville Township home. 19-year-old Andrew Wilson was arraigned on open murder and weapons charges in court today. He was denied bond. Police say he shot and killed his mother, Lisa Marie Wilson, inside the home on Lynn Road. She was found dead in her bedroom Friday morning. Andrew Wilson is due back in court on September 21st. We'll keep tracking this story for you.
It was found that the murder occurred after a disagreement over a puppy that Andrew had brought home. Lisa informed him that the puppy would have to go to his father's home in Dansville. Later that night, Andrew took a .22 Magnum rifle from a locked cabinet and shot his mother in the back of the head while she slept. He was convicted of second-degree murder for the fatal shooting of his mother, Lisa Marie Wilson.
A preliminary exam is scheduled for the Williamston teenager accused of killing his mother last year. Earlier this month, a judge ruled 19-year-old Andrew Wilson was competent to stand trial for the murder of Lisa Marie Wilson. She was found dead inside of her home in Wheatfield Township last September. Police say Andrew Wilson admitted he shot and killed his mom because she wouldn't let him keep a puppy. We'll keep tracking this case for you.
The incident occurred in 2017, and he was sentenced to 17 years in prison. He then disposed of the weapon. His defense highlighted his history of mental health issues, including depression and auditory hallucinations, which are believed to be side effects of high-dose medications he had been taking since childhood.
Psychiatrists say a Williamston teenager accused of killing his mother is mentally competent to stand trial. 19-year-old Andrew Wilson was sent to the state's Forensic Psychiatry Center back in September after he was charged with murder. 51-year-old Lisa Marie Wilson was found dead inside her Wheatfield Township home on September 8th. Deputies say Andrew admitted to shooting his mom because she wouldn't let him keep a puppy. The teen is due back in court on January 18th.
Despite his mental health challenges, the court determined that the crime was serious enough to warrant a significant sentence.